go. We're streaming. We have that. Music goes. So it is. Spring has finally returned in the year 2947, and I believe you had agreed to in the spring to return to Dale to meet up with your comrade Aegir.
Yes. Yes, we did.
You arrive and find the captain of the guard, who is there. Said, he's a fine boy, good trainer. However, he took off. He kept saying that he kept having dreams about this cabin that's about a mile off from the stairs of Aegir.
Huh.
Well, how long ago did he leave?
He left, I'd say about not even 4 days ago.
Okay. Was he on foot or on horse?
He was on foot.
So did he say he was coming back? Did he give a time of coming back, or should we wait for him here?
He said that he would return eventually, but this was about his father, his uncle. I mean, the judge. He had visions that something bad was happening to him, and so he took off to this cabin.
The cabin. Do we have a good directions to the cabin?
The stair of Aegir is when you cross south the long lake down into the river running and begins to enter the long marsh. Before it enters the long marshes, there's a portage area that has been built called the Stair of Aegir. You guys were at the edge of it. Yeah. At the edge of it when where you dealt with the marsh dwellers.
Okay.
Yeah, fought with those orcs there too.
Okay.
So make a awareness check.
9 with a success.
A 9 with
I got 18 with a Tengu.
18 with the Tengu. You know exactly where that cabin is. Having crossed back and forth that close from Thranduil's halls. You know what it is. It's just a hunting cabin, but you're pretty sure you know where it is.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah, it's not that far away. If we get provisions, just grab some provisions. We can be off.
Very well.
How are you going to go there? Are you going to walk there? Are you going to try to get a boat, or what's your plan?
We can try to get a boat and catch up, or you want to walk?
Yeah, no, I think what season is it?
It's spring.
Oh, spring. All right. Yeah, I mean the water will be running pretty high in the spring, but that sounds fine. That's probably the safest route.
Or we can head past the cabin of my friend.
Well, that's going northwest, away from it.
Oh, is it northwest? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think his wife would be interested in seeing you.
I was going to buy some more lingerie before we left.
Yeah.
I'm okay with going by land.
All right.
That might work best to then give us a little time to catch up.
Okay, as I look at my map, earnings. 1, 2,
Do we ride horses or
Do you
we
have
can get a
horses?
riding goat?
Do you
I
have
do.
do you have goats?
I didn't bring a goat with me. I spent most of my money in the uh, the winter festival.
Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty poor, and I actually owe you guys both money. So I guess we're walking.
Okay,
Hmm.
you're walking through there. It's over easy terrain. On foot in the spring. Calculate that. Alright, that's 40 miles by foot. It's going to take you 2 days. Make one travel test.
Okay. Very good. 9, 12, 21 with a great success.
No problem. You're well rested from the Yule. You're all set to go. You are good. You're psyched up. You have plenty of energy to burn.
11 for Ella Brimborn.
You are a little rusty on there. You were a little hanging out a little too long, a little less activity, and so you take 2 points of fatigue.
I helped empty a lot of wine barrels. They were getting really close to the bottom, and we needed to ship them back. And the boys needed help, and I had to help them.
Hmm. I was on Dancing with the Dwarves, so I've been pretty much in good shape.
Right. Dwarf sizing.
Right. Mare likes to dance a lot.
So how's that going with her?
Oh, fabulous, fabulous. And,
Yeah.
I need to tell you about the letter I received back from Laura as well.
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah, she wants to catch up with us at some point in time, and I think she said she would love to come and hear your song and shoot bow with you at some point.
No,
And,
that sounds wonderful.
so she said she would be healed up by the spring, so hopefully we'll be able to see her soon.
That sounds wonderful.
She mentioned in her letter that she would be at wintering in Roscobo. Roscobo is where Radagast lives. It's a woodsman settlement
Hmm.
on the southwest part of Mirkwood. So you guys reach there, and you've find this. What do you do?
Ah, so is that snow that we're traveling on now?
It's basically frost.
Frost, okay. All right.
Then I would say we should, we should go around to the front door of the cabin. Looks like the privy's open there, so.
Mm-hmm. I'll do an awareness check.
Sure.
And I've sworn with a Tengu. My
I
awareness is
saw him with the tingle.
at its peak as usual.
You open the door, and the body of a bandit falls out. His been stabbed in the chest several times with a dagger. Make a corruption test. Roll your wisdom. Actually, we'll call this a fear test. So roll your valor.
Okay.
Valor.
Should be a problem. 20 with the Tengu.
17 with a Tengu.
Okay, you recognize the stab marks as the kind of as right along the style of Aegir.
Ah, his calling card. I don't know if he needs our help, but potentially he came across something.
So we'll, I guess we'll shout.
Are we around at the front porch here then? Is that where we're at? Or?
Yeah, you said we had opened the door and a guy fell out.
You open the privy door.
Privy
the
door.
privy
Okay.
door. Okay.
All right, so we're here. Okay.
Make a hunting roll.
Okay. That'll be easy for me. I'm Soren.
Easy. Did you just say it was easy for you? I got an 11.
I have Sora.
Yeah.
With an 11 in the frost, it's not too hard to find. You see tracks leading to the northwest part of the cabin.
Okay. All right, we'll go.
With the Eye of Sauron, you managed to dump the guy's body on top of the tracks and scatter a couple of the tracks away.
Was there anything on the guy? Can you describe him a little bit?
He looked like a kind of brigand who looks to rob people along the Stair of Girion while they're portaging their boats. It looks like from him that it was a hard winter on him, that he is skin and bones, and there wasn't much travel up and down, and their provisions didn't last too long, as long as they had hoped.
Poor bugger.
Okay. I'll check him for any money since we're broke.
No, there's no money on him.
All right. Okay. Then I'll follow the elf.
So you said northwest, away from this cabin?
Northwest over to about here,
Okay.
where you see a body lying in the frost.
Aha.
And it looks like that he has been stabbed in the leg several times and crawled off to escape.
Does it look like, can I tell if it's Aegir's weapon again? Can I?
Oh, it's definitely. It looks
awareness?
like Aegir's weapon.
Okay.
All right.
Do I,
I'll, first
does there
the
appear to
body
be
real quick.
blood from two people or just him?
Just him.
Okay.
Okay.
He goes, "Go ahead, slay me then. I'm all but done."
What were you doing here?
We took over the cabin when the winter fell. One needed a place to stay out of the cold. Apparently, we saw that there was only one guy, and he kind of smiled. Make an insight check.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to ask him about inhabitants of the cabin. I got a Gandalf.
He knows who was in the cabin. Whether he says so or not, he knows who it was. There was a guy in the cabin, and we forced ourselves in as roommates. He didn't take to it too well, so we had to forcibly make him agree that it was all right for us to stay.
Well, where is this? Where is the owner of the cabin?
He's long gone, hopefully dead. He stabbed Needs while he was on guard at one night and took off, saying that he was going to head off along the Anduin.
And this is what became of you and your friend in the privy. Is this former owner of the cabin?
No, there was another.
Did this to you? Another.
Didn't looked fairly similar to the judge, and then he realizes he slipped.
Yeah.
So you had the judge prisoner all this time?
No, but yes, we had the judge. We had a little fun branding him with putting some spears in the fire and poking him with it a bit. We had our little fun. He took our friend Oswald to sentence our friend Oswald to hard labor in Dale, So it was good payback. But anyhow, the judge escaped. We stayed here. We were planning on moving out within the week when somebody who looked fairly like a younger version of the judge showed up and began asking questions. We tried to rob him, and well, I'm all that's left. Let's just say.
Well, what direction did he head off on?
After he asked me about the judge, so I assume that they going to follow him down along the south along the Anduin. So what are you going to do with me? Are you going to take my head?
No,
I've killed
think,
people before. I'm not. I deserve whatever's coming to me.
Yeah, well, I think you'll have to wait time for the judge to have a ruling on you, and unfortunately, we're 4 days out from town, so many things that happen. I would expect you to try to escape from this area. What do you say? What do you say, partner? We take him back into town, or?
I don't want to waste my time with him. He can try to run if he wants.
I can't run. Look at this leg.
He will die. I would not be at this cabin when we return. Go.
I will tell you what. I expect you to. I will provide you with some help or some healing, and I expected you to turn yourself in the town. Or if we find you in the future, there will be no trial. You need to meet for your crimes and do punishment just like your friend Oswald. Let me see if I can.
What's wrong with you? You're going to finish me off? You're actually going to try to help me.
Yeah, you deserve to have a fair trial. You've confessed many without me, confessed to many of your sins. I think you're a man that understands that you need to change your ways. I understand you're desperate. Maybe the judge will listen to you and believe in things and change your sentencing for that. I would put that in your favor and decide that. Let me see if I can give you some aid. So I give him 16 with a 10 give on a healing check.
It's going to take him about a week before he's able to move out of the cabin, but you've stabilized him and got him where he's going to be able to continue.
If anything, I'm going to give him a false sense of purpose, so when we come back through the cabin, we can snag him if I know it's going to take him time. I know he's not going to probably move from here. I'm not going to lead into that we're going to do that, but I'll get him all cozy, nestled in there with some firewood and that kind of stuff in the cabin, and then we head off. Make sure there's some food in there for him or whatever. If there isn't any food, there's nothing we can do other than I'll give him a quarter of my provisions.
Okay. You set him up in the cabin, and he rests on the bed and says, "If only the previous person had been so generous, I wouldn't have had to be here when you bleeding in the frost when you showed up."
Don't blame someone else for your behavior.
Yeah, your actions already of kidnapping the judge and branding him with spears is obviously inappropriate in the first place. So you've just compounded one thing on top of the other. Like I said, you need to reflect on this time that you're healing about the crimes you've committed at this point and possibly change now that the spring has arrived. The spring renews us all, and hopefully it will renew your life to a better life. All right, let's head out, my partner. I don't use our names or anything like that with Thor.
So, what is your plan for? How are you going? What's your plan for crossing to the Anduin? You're right near the Elf Path and Thranduil's path. Thranduil, not too far from Thranduil's kingdom, and the Elf Path is right across. Or you could backtrack all the way around and circumvent Mirkwood altogether. Or
I'm good with taking the elf path. I don't know. What about you? I'm assuming we're speaking distance away from the other guy. So, you want to hit the elf path or go around Thor?
I'm fine hitting the elf path since we're now elf friend with Thranduil. We should be able to make a good time.
Yep.
All right. So that's what we'll do.
So you're traveling off through the frost. The first leaves of spring are coming up on the trees, and you come across a loud argument. And one of them is a dwarf voice, going, "You know the work that I'm trying to do. Trying to rebuild the old road. Trying to build the way for all dwarves and men through Mirkwood. Why do you have to be a bugger and charge me what you would charge the people at the old ford for the shovels? You know that I'm good for it." And he goes, "Hey, I need to take care of my son and take care of the living, take care of what I can while I can. There's no guarantee I'm going to sell all these shovels at the old ford. And besides, I heard that Erebor isn't supporting you as far as building that old road. What do? You do recognize the voice of Frar the Beardless.
Yeah.
And you see a middle-aged merchant and his 8-year-old son by a cart and pony. And sure enough, there are shovels and building supplies, as well as crates, barrels of wine on the pony cart. And they are in the middle of a heated discussion. What do you do?
So I shout, "Hail, Frar! How are you?" And try to draw their
I'm
attention.
pissed off is what I am! This bugger from Lake Town's tried to charge me what he would charge King Dane, and what King Dane would probably pay for a shovel. I can't barely pay the people that volunteer to help me on the road. How could I afford to buy a shovel this way?
Very good. And sir, may I ask your name?
He says, "Why, yes, I'm Baldur, and this is my son Belgo. I am a merchant from Lake Town. You, Miss Master Dwarf, if you had been around before the desolation of Smog, my name would have meant more. I lost a lot of my business when Smog took out Lake Town."
Yes, many families were at a loss with Lake Town. I had in the Battle of the Five Armies lost several of my kin, as well as friends that I had made with from those adventures.
Make a riddle roll, both of you.
Okay.
Gandalf.
15.
15? You get a sense that he knows loss also for the Battle of Five Armies. Elabrimborn, you get a sense that he lost most of his family when Smog fell on Lake Town.
Okay.
That Belgo is probably the only one that he managed to get out of the wreckage before everything went down.
Okay. So we are all friends here. Please.
Farrar says, "Friends, come on! You haven't helped me build the road. This bugger won't sell me a shovel with. He thinks that I'm buying a cottage here."
Please let me speak for you at present, and let's see what we can do, and maybe we can come to something that will benefit all parties. What say you? Will you give me a chance? You know who I am. We've met before, if you recall. We met at the steps.
I recall. You wouldn't wouldn't join my team.
If you recall, we were on a mission, and we were in dire need to rescue our friends. So you know that a friend means a lot to me. So, if you would, give me a chance. Maybe I can work with this merchant.
Make a persuade roll.
All right. I have no persuading.
I'll sing a song about, the Battle of Five Armies and Smog attacking the city of Dale and the losses that we all suffered, and many hundreds of lives that were lost, and the rebirth and renewing and the need for friendship and helping each other after disasters such as this, and working together.
Roll your
Do you want
song.
me to song roll instead of persuade then?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still would like to hear what the persuasion was from George.
Since I have no skill in it, I rolled a big 7.
So Farrar blows you off and goes, let me show you how a dwarf negotiates.
I did a 16 in song. Nothing special about it.
Farrar stops and says, "Alright, you've got my ear. Fancy tongue. Take your best shot with the merchant and the boy."
Yes, I am the lucky victor. It was a lucky day for me, contestant winner at Dragontide. So still have that under my belt.
Congratulations. I would have been
Thank
at
you very much.
Dragontide, but I was trying to open the road.
I'm sure we can work out things with a shovel. So I talked to Balder and Belgo,
Okay?
and just say, listen, sir, can you please help a friend of ours out? I'm sure that this would mean a lot to us. I'm Elabrimborn, and this is Thror, and this is an old friend of ours. He's a little cantankerous. He's a hard-working fellow. If you could just help him out with something to do with other shovels, just for our sake, to help us all along, it would mean the world to us, and we would remember you in the future. I'm sure we'd be happy to provide you aid. Is there any information or anything we can provide you with? Or are you heading to Dale, for example?
Actually, I'm headed off to the old ford. There's a market that meets there around this time of year. I was wanting to trade in, get some goods from the west, and bring them on back to Dale to sell.
Well, possibly we could give you some information about that, unless you're familiar with that area.
I also have some wine for a very important client of mine.
May I ask who that is?
Persuasion.
I, Sauron.
You are. What are? Who are you? Are you going to steal my load out from underneath me?
Well, the elves do.
I
the
tried.
elves do like-
We tried to hire some gods back in Lake Town, and they nearly had me at knife point trying to steal my wares. We're lucky we got away with one pony in our cart.
The elves do like wine. Now we are friends of the Brandy Bucks. We didn't know if that was we are friends of many innkeepers possibly, but obviously you have someone you're going to sell it to. But
I'm not familiar with the Brandy Bucks. Who are they? Are they elves?
no, they're hobbits that are up at the Golden Purse Inn. You should visit them sometime. They may be interested in trading with you as well. I give them the location.
Along the western edge of Mirkwood. What an odd place for an inn. But
Yes, but they're trying to branch out and hoping that as people go out to be a halfway point between the Elven community and the Forge.
well, I could definitely be a supply. I'm linking their supply chain. I could do that. If
So
you could show me if I agreed to do this, would you introduce me to these Brandy Bucks?
Absolutely.
All right, half price for the shovels. Can you do that, Beardless? To which Farrar gets red in the face because it's a court saying Beardless is not the nicest thing to say to a dwarf. And he goes, "Yeah, that'll do."
And so, for usually in an engagement like this, there's something that we say to the people that are giving us a discount. There's a couple words that make things go easier. Do you recall them?
Have some ale with me.
Okay, well that's pretty close to those. That's 3 words, but yeah.
And he goes over to his wagon where he's got a cask and pours out a stein of ale for you, a stein for Thror, a stein for Baldur, and a stein for Belgo.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And little Belgo's like, I've never had some ale before.
So we do the song to the puking demon romp stomp, since that's kind of like a dwarven song, and we're drinking dwarven ale. So from that point,
Baldur looks at you, Celebrimbor, and goes, "Does my son have to drink ale? He's only 8. This might make it difficult on the road with him."
Oh, I would just have him for manhood. Just have a sip and good toast with us. He doesn't have to drink the whole drink. A little bit won't hurt him. He'll be a man soon enough.
Do you hear that, Father? I'm gonna be a man soon. Yes, son. Yes, son. Yes, son. So
this wine that you have, you say it's a good stock?
it's very best. Make a persuasion check, or a riddle check.
I'll do a riddle. Much better. Gandalf with
It's good enough for King Thranduil.
Very good. Very good.
Well, so if you don't mind a couple day pit stop over in Thranduil's halls, along the way.
Is that where you're headed give this wine?
Yeah, I'm going to meet with some elves, and they're gonna take us on the rafts to the halls. We're going to do some business there, and after a couple days, head back out on the forest road out across Mirkwood.
Well, let me provide you with a letter of good standing, a letter of
Whoa,
introduction
whoa,
to
whoa, whoa!
the
You
Elven
said you were
Kingdom.
going to come with us and introduce me to the Brandy Bucks.
Oh, no, no, no! I will give you a letter of introduction if you're going to the Elven Kingdom too. I can also
Oh, I'm
help
fine
you
with
with
the
that
I'm
too.
fine with the Elven Kingdom. I've had a long. They're some of my best clients.
I will give word of the Brandy Bucks of your coming and of your greatness of your wares. I will not be traveling with you, sir. On foot during the journey, unless you're headed the direction that we are headed. We're headed for the Anduin, so we'd be happy to accompany
I'm
you.
headed to the old ford, so that's right on the Anduin.
That's fine, and we'd be happy to accompany you. And I will send word of your coming to the Brandy Bucks when you need. So I actually thought of kind of ratcom the idea of something already too when we're done with this encounter.
Okay, and he goes. Baldur goes. Farrar, always an experience doing business with you. And he goes, Belgo, load up. We're moving out to visit the elves. He goes, oh boy, we get to see the elves.
You're looking at one right now, kid.
I know, but have you seen the kingdom? Seen their caves? They're so majestic.
I agree. It is the most wonderful thing you will ever see in your life, and you should be very excited to go and see there because there is nothing more beautiful than what you're about to witness.
And the songs that the elves sing, they're so magical.
Well, I will share some of those with you on our journey together.
Will you share one with us now?
Sure, kid. What's your particular interest?
I want to be I want to be be like King Bod and rise up and slay monsters and become a hero.
All right. But that's well. They'll tell you that we'll tell you the Elven song about the slaying of Smog. So I go ahead. I'll roll a song roll.
Okay.
Uh, as well. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So in the beginning of the game, but I was going to say as usual, we're not doing so well here. 18
18. That's great.
should be enough to impress like a little 8-year-old kid.
You impress him, and he keeps trying to copy you and sing bits of the song as you're traveling along.
Then I'll try to teach him the rhyme of lore about dragons, since that seems to be on our journey. Since he wants to seem to kind of memorize, I tell him, "Hey, son, you're going to you potentially have a good career here as a bard. Just stick with your uncle Ella Brimborn here, and you potentially got a future."
He's my uncle now. Our family's getting bigger again, Father. Baldur says, I'm sure he meant that as a figure of speech.
Sorry. Before we left, I wanted to chat with Farrar about the road. Sorry.
Sure.
You don't mind if we go back just a moment?
No problem.
So yeah, I just wanted to ask him about the road and what his motivation for putting the road in play. Did he have the approval of King Dane, for the orders, or working under the orders of King Dane?
Yeah, I have the orders. I just don't have any funding or anybody to help me with it. I'm kind of out here alone trying to find the remains of the road and trying to get higher woodmen to help me clear it, but I don't have that much to pay them with, and they disappear after they realize how hard of work it is. It's removing stumps and moving huge rocks and work like that. That is just not you don't think about when you say, "Oh, we're going to make a road."
Right. I really wanted to encourage him, inspire him, basically that we're all behind him and putting this road in, and that I would like to support him as best that I can. I don't have great funds at present, but if I come into those funds, then I would look to assist him.
Now you know what would get us some great funds if we took the Grey Delve back.
And the Grey Delve is?
You know the Grey Delve is a dwarven fortress that was in northern Mirkwood that was overrun by orcs, and the dwarves have not been able to take it back. And most of the efforts have been on rebuilding Erebor, not on taking smaller dwarven kingdoms back that have been are surrounded by orcs in the mountains of Mirkwood.
Okay. Yes, Farrar, you are correct that getting Grey Delve back would be definitely a boon to these efforts. So we will look to try and see if that's something we can do on our adventures.
Wait a minute, I know you. You're the commoner who's got the eye of the daughter of the king. If anybody could get King Dane to listen, it would be you.
As I said, I am in support of you, so I will do what I can. If you would like to have me to help invest in your road, I will do so.
Then I would be honored. Most of the woodsmen know where to find me around here. If the elves will also know where to find me.
Very good.
Well, let's do another toast to renewed friendship and bargains well struck, and to future of business and industry of the dwarves.
Very good.
I'll drink to that. And little Belgo goes, "I'll drink to that too, Father."
Here, have another.
I don't feel so good, Daddy.
Oh, that's all right. That's part of being a man. When you grow up to be a man, it doesn't feel.
Does it hurt so much to be a man?
It hurts. It hurts every day. The older you get.
So that was Besser. So as you're traveling and Belgo's singing, an elf kind of steps out of pretty much out of nowhere, and you recognize him, Thranduil, as Lindar. He's kind of the merchant liaison of Thranduil's kingdom, and he says, "Are you, Elebrimbolm, are you teaching little Belgo elven songs?"
Absolutely. I'm. That has been my wish is to bring all of our kingdoms together and enjoy each other, bring unity and bring understanding between all the kingdoms, so there is not so much fear and hatred, but to work together. I think this young lad potentially has some potential here.
This young lad has something. He's a great amusement when he and his father come through our halls. I just never thought I would be hearing him singing elven songs.
Well, you are certainly welcome.
Teach him
many
another.
years ago.
Teach him another one in our language. Let's see how he does.
All right. So I teach him the Elven riding song.
I'll try to inspire the young lad as well to do his best.
Okay.
So, success with, Gandalf with 6.
My song rolls a 17.
So he's actually got the chorus down of one of the songs. So he goes, "Wait till King Thranduil hears Belgo singing in Sindarin. It'll be quite a sight, quite a moment. I bet Prince Legolas will greatly enjoy it."
I think so. I think it is a wonderful thing. Something I've pushed a year ago to avoid our isolationist tendencies and start accepting the other races as our brotherhood and kin.
Okay.
And how is Legolas doing, by the way?
He is doing quite well. Has his spirit back, but he does not quite have his agility. Where every now and then you see that he needs to lean against a wall, or his strength fails him, or his balance fails him, and his knees wobble. He is not fully healed, but he is an inspiration to our kingdom for how positive he is through getting through this.
Very good.
We will need to have a brief audience with either the prince or the king and explain of the tidings of Mithrandir, but I speak no more of that at this moment.
Will do. Word has reached the king's and the prince's ears of what happened there.
That's fine. If they need more information from us, we would be glad to tell.
Gladly. So you traveling. It's 50 miles by river going upstream over hard terrain through the borderlands. Takes 13 days of traveling to get there. Make 3 travel tests.
Before we left the edge of this woods, what I wanted to retcon is just use the speakers and see if I could send a messenger bird or a raven or something back to the captain of Lake Town's guard and make him aware of the fact that there is someone in the cabin that is still alive and basically kidnapped the judge and held him at bay, and that person is there recovering from an injury and should not be charged, but or should not be harmed, but should receive a fair trial. And I can add to his confession later, but just know that he's present. Whether the bird makes it to the guy or not, that's
the bird will have no problem. The elves often nowadays, in this time of peace between the races, will send bird messages between them and the captain of the guard, if not with a message to go directly to King Bard.
Yeah, I just thought about that when he left the cabin, that possibly that would be the solution to not leaving the guy there, but also getting him justice for the judge and all that stuff. So anyways, enough of that. All right, travel rolls.
3 travel rolls.
I got a 16 on my first roll.
Okay.
And only 11 on my second roll. That's my first failure.
Okay. You take 2 points of fatigue from rowing the boat as you're going upstream, and it's, especially with a pony on the raft, it's considerable work trying to keep it from going drifting over and getting caught up in the roots of the trees that are just on the banks.
Very good. And a 19 on my last roll.
Yep.
Or actually 22 on my last roll. Okay. And,
You are determined, and you're going to get them there, and this is going to be a positive experience for you.
great. I also, on our way, I wanted to use my trading specialty to get Baldor to potentially get wine to Erebor using my name.
Okay, I always thought that the dwarves were favored the ale over the wine.
Farrar, as you may have overheard my friend Farrar, he mentioned that I am in the favor of the king and his daughter, and so I believe they
He
would find
mentioned you were in
employment.
favor of the daughter, not of the king. I wonder,
I would
because he also
suggest-
mentioned that you were a common of common stock.
But my stature is much raised over these last 2 years, so I am well known. And the king is, as a king should be with his daughter, is very careful.
I would
Yes,
sug-
very well. If you will write a letter of introduction to me, I will pick up some wine when I return to Dale and bring it up to Erebor.
Right? I'm basically looking for some kickback if he does well with his sales.
I can form a contract, then you'll get a percentage. Yes.
Excellent, thank
I
you.
would recommend calling the vintage um, Mayor's Joy or something like that, and
Mare's Joy.
describe it as young and beautiful in its bouquet as the daughter of the king.
He's quickly scribbling this down and going, "This is good stuff. Why don't I have an elf helping me market all the time?"
Uh, because I don't know. I could be part of your partnership here, but I have no ability in craft, just in the wording.
Sometimes the wording goes further than the craft.
Yes, obviously, marketing is everything.
And
I'm also fond of Fair Mare Red. She has red hair, beautiful
No,
red hair.
Fair
I
Mare Red.
that's more dwarvish and rugged. I think you need to use the elven terminology with the wine. Fairmere Red is very crude. Mare's Joy to me spoke of more open bouquet and more delicious, jubilant type of thing, talking about the beauty of the girl, not just Fairmare's Red. That sounds like some kind of it sounds like some kind of copper beer that you'd get at a tavern.
I know my people.
Well, you could try marketing both and just
So when the elves come to visit, they can have your wine.
slap the name on two different barrels and see which one goes, and then tell them. Well, luckily you only had one barrel of Mare's Joy, but you got 20 barrels of fair Mare's Red. So you know what I mean, or vice versa. So
Baldur laughs and says, "That's exactly what I was thinking of doing."
Very good.
So Elbrimbor, make 3 travel rolls.
all right, so we got a 7 for our lowest.
Okay, that's 2 points of fatigue.
And then we got the other two happen to be 11s with Tengus, but those are probably still too bad. Too.
Yeah, that's 2 points of fatigue still.
So
You're just not a rafter.
Yeah. So explain to me now. Like I have 8 points of fatigue. When do I start having problems?
When your fatigue is equal to or greater than your encumbrance.
So I have 26. So I'm way off.
But it'll start healing off once you get in a rest, and you know you're going to have several days rest in Thranduil's kingdom, so.
Sounds good.
So draw on the map, and they get you in. They get you in through the cellar doors as the rafts come up through where Bilbo and the dwarves made their escape, and they have kind of a little elevator that they've built to help haul the pony up into the caves. Lindar says, most of our the guards for Baldur get to stay in the VIP suites. And he laughs and nudges you, which basically means you get to sleep in a small cave with a little bit of cheap wine and some bread. He goes, you obviously have full access to Thranduil's kingdom.
Excellent, excellent. I try to talk to the pony as they raise him up and just tell him, hey friend, this will be scary, but you'll be up there shortly if you can just rest yourself, and then I guess we go to the real VIP kind of thing, and but make sure that we introduce our new friends, new human friends here. So
the halls are filled with, well, they're well known. Everybody knows Baldur and Belgo, and all the elf maidens are just fawning over Belgo, and Belgo starts singing in Sindarin, and they're just fawning all over him. It's been a long time since there was an elf child, and this is kind of their substitute. And they go, oh, we gotta show everybody what you can your new song, and they kind of rush him off. Baldur and Linda go unload the wine and inspect it and begin doing business. And you hear a very familiar song, Ella Brimborn, of young elves singing the whiskey drinking bear song, coming from one of the banquet rooms.
all right, so I head over and just kind of peer in and just listen in with a smile. Make sure they're singing it correctly.
Well, you recognize the guy who's teaching them how to sing. It's Eladin. Eladin was the guy who, when you were first here, was singing the songs about the squirrels, and had basically had writer's block for most of the Third Age.
Excellent.
It seems, and he looks at you and says, "My friend, I've been writing again." I don't claim that. I don't claim to be teaching that this is my song, but your music has awakened in me new songs and new things. I have not written like this in 1,000 years.
That is wonderful. Well, I hope we have some time to exchange some of your new works, and possibly I can share some of mine. But I'd be more interested in hearing some of the things that you've created or composed.
And he goes, okay. And he gathers the dwarves together, and they sing actually, it's a oddly bubbly song about the dwarf and the elf and human who drove Shelob's daughter away out of the elven kingdom.
Fantastic.
Called Broken Webs.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful.
Do you approve,
Sorry,
Master Elf?
It is fantastic. I never believed that I would hear something so wonderful to my ears. It is wonderful to hear our tales told.
I am quite pleased, and I cheer on the song as it was being played.
You're approached, Thror, by Arend, an elf who introduces himself as Arendel. And he says, "How do you know how Baldic is doing? He was here when I first met you."
Well, he's doing well. He's north of the ford. I think he found the perfect woman and has settled down there to a good life. And within the last year, we had a quick visit with him, and it seemed like everything was doing well with his family and his new lady friend's family.
Well, that's good. But didn't see him come here. I was worried because the last time we was here, we had a disagreement about the pettiness of elves, and I tried to get him to see things from another side, and was hoping that he had gotten over that.
I'm sure he has, or I hope that he has. I try to be a good influence to him on our race and how we behave.
Elebrimbaum, is that you?
Yes, it is.
You turn, and sure, there enough is Legolas.
Ah, my prince, how fare thee? How are you doing? You look much better. I am glad to see you. It cheers me to see you, my lord.
I am glad to be seen. It is because of your exploits that and your bravery that I am able to.
My lord, it was you that inspired us to greatness. That is why you are doing well. It was your very presence and your former teachings to myself and your actions that have inspired me to become much like yourself and great as you. Please do not flatter us with that, for it is you that inspired us to help you and bring you back to this state.
Have you heard the music that is going through the halls? It has been a long time since such music has graced our lands.
It is.
As Elendon is writing again and teaching more bards.
It is wonderful that this is happening. We are greatly pleased that there is joy again in the halls of Thranduil.
You know who would greatly have liked to see you? Ruithil. However, she set out about a week ago to take post along the western gate to the forest to keep guard. Perhaps you'll run into her on your as you pass through Mirkwood.
Hopefully we will. Is there any message you'd like to give to her
No
personally?
message. I just know that she greatly respects you and your friends.
Ah, wonderful. So I kind of ask him not to not to depress him, but if he does have time, just that if we could talk at some time while I'm here, based on I don't know how much time we're gonna have, but we have to move on. But
You have about 2 days.
yeah, so if he has some free time in the future when he is up to it, I'd like to discuss something with him. And basically, all it is just explaining what happened to Gandalf, and I don't want to depress him now that he's in a good mood, but what
He
happened to
goes,
Gandalf,
he
and
goes, we will speak at sunset.
yeah, all right,
Meet me
That's okay. I burst
meet
forward
me
as
at
usual.
the front gates.
I burst forward and make my greetings as well. Not to be timid.
Ah, a dwarf does not want to be ignored.
No, I wanted to say hello. It has been a long time. I was happy to get the letter that you wrote back to me, and I hope that you are getting better. You do look so much better than before, and that is good. Um, I did have one important question to ask you. It was
Why,
about our
certainly.
friend Aegir. Have you heard of him in this area or in your realm recently?
Yes, he passed through on quite a hurry. He wouldn't stay long to eat to more than feast with us for a night. He said that he had been over the winter been having nightmares of something horrible happening to his uncle, but he wouldn't go into much detail. But said that he hoped to get more answers from Radagast.
Radagast. Okay, very good. Thank you. It was important that we asked. He was to have met us before we headed out on our journey, our latest journey, and unfortunately he left before us. So this news is good to hear that
He
he is
was
alive and
something
well.
was weighing greatly on his mind. I believe
Yes,
he
yes.
was not fully of himself, or he would have waited for you.
Yes, he gets that way. I've known him for quite some time. So we must make haste to catch up with him. I believe it's important at this point. So, but thank you for your hospitality again. Thank you for allowing us to take bread with you tonight. And I'm very pleased to see that you are well.
Hmm. So that night, dusk, you guys are feasted, and there's great food, and there's plenty of great songs. Uh, there seems to be about 50 verses to the Breaking of the Web song. It's a song that doesn't end, and it's amazingly has an amazingly catchy of the snip 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 went the web, snip 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 went the web, and the spiders and they ran, and the spiders they ran as far away when the web broke, when the web broke. And so that was, so you hear about 50 verses of that. And Legolas is just enjoying it as much as can be. And he nods at you and says, "When you are ready, Celebrimbor, I will be there at the front gates in 15 minutes."
okay, wonderful, my lord. I will see you there.
And then you feel a hand on your elbow, and you see a young female elf, young as in 150 years, look up to you and says, "You've brought great inspiration to our people, you know."
Ah, well, thank you. That is wonderful to hear. I was hoping that I could do that and provide that for our people and bring us happiness. And I think a lot of this is shown by the our union and working with the other races of Middle Earth that this is why this has all come about. For if we work together as one people of the good for the good of Middle Earth, that all this joy and stuff can be shared.
Exactly, for all the good, not just for one leader, but for all the leaders. You go between the wizards. You go between the rulers of the different kingdoms. You are not bound by any one lord. Many of us elves have found that quite inspirational, and have begun to have second thoughts about Thranduil's rule over us. We've had
Oh,
we've had great rejoicing in the great clearing, free of rule and being and hiding and all and the decrees of the king. It's just like the old days.
oh yes, yes. Do I know your name, young lady?
My name is Anyata.
And Yada, pleased to meet you. And how many of your elves are enjoying the old ways?
Uh, at least 400. Would you
It's good to
come
hear.
and be?
I
Would you come and be one of us? Would you Would you be our leader?
well, I the whole thing is that I think what we're trying to say and what we're trying to is to be together and not necessarily separate ourselves. Maybe you guys are misunderstanding. If there's 400 of you that believe that you want to break off in your own thing and find your own leader, doesn't that seem like you're not unifying? That you're actually breaking off in your own group? Doesn't
If the,
that make more sense?
if
That
there
that's
if
what you're
Fror the
doing?
Beardless had need for us to help out, and we saw it, we would help him. Not just because he is a dwarf, but because he's one of those of all the land. If there were human merchants passing through, like Belgo, and Belgo got lost in the woods, we would help him because it is the right thing to do. It is not right to sit and hide in the caves because one ruler wants us to and says that it is his will. Don't you do what you do because you believe it is the right thing, regardless of who tells you it?
No, but I still have faith in our king and our ruler and in our prince and the other kingdoms who rule that. I don't believe that it is appropriate that we would plot to overthrow people. I think we need to discuss that with people, for there's
Oh,
reasons why
we
people
have
are
no
put in
wish to
place.
overthrow. We've just decided that we're no longer a part of this. They can do their thing. We can do our thing. We do what we believe is right for all involved, and everybody's happy.
Are you planning on forming your commune within the lands of Mirkwood or elsewhere?
We're in the we are live near the great clearing. It's in Mirkwood.
Yeah. Well, I would think you should get the blessing from King Thranduil to start your community there too. I think your purpose seems noble. However, there is the problem of basically setting up your community within someone else's land or kingdom. That could be a problem. That's not working together with people.
Because, well, I thought you would be a little bit more understanding about what we're doing. It is not.
I am very understanding of what you're doing. I'm trying to explain to you that some of your thinking is going the opposite of what we discussed. You're actually separating yourself from the elves. You haven't mentioned about working with the elves. You mentioned about working with the humans and the dwarves, but the whole point is working together with all of the kingdoms, including the people of your own race, not dividing yourself to other people.
If we think
I
it's
have
the
not.
right thing to do and King Thranduil asks us for help, then we will do it. But we will not just be living because he said living in the caves because he says that that is his will.
Well, I shall listen and see what the doctrine that's being spoken, and I appreciate you giving me the knowledge of what your belief is.
And we thank you for your inspiration.
You are very welcome. I hope to meet you all in the grove in some time in the future, but it may not be. If I do not have time at this point, possibly it may be in the future.
And she smiles and heads off. So, do you head on over to visit with Legolas?
Yes. So I kind of just want to, without going in detail, just wanted to tell him of what we had discovered, what had happened with Gandalf and Legoland, and there seems to be some kind of person of the shadow that's kind of trying to lay a trap for us and also create problems. And apparently this person's a powerful enough necromancer that we've seen his art, that he's been able to raise people back, and he's destroying people. He's destroying innocents, and apparently has a lot of agents of shadow working with him, and didn't know if he was aware of that, but just want to make him aware of that. And then secondarily bring up the account of how I've inspired people of our own race to move to the Grove and maybe actually become separatists from the king, and what is his thoughts on that, or has he heard of that type of thing going on, and how he fares with these people versus his king, and whether his father has been saying that the people need to stay in the caves and not go to the woods.
For for the first part, I have heard the great sadness of what's happened to Mithrandir, and that Saruman is working on it. Ruitho came by. She was very weakened and said that she was going to winter with Radagast and that they were going to work on something. She also said that there was a possibility of information being found out in Fenbridge Castle, and that she would wait for you to come by before she ventured into that very dark location.
Okay, I'm not familiar with, probably my character is, but I'm not familiar as to.
Mm-hmm. Fenbridge Castle, basically Dol Guldur is in the middle of a swamp that is,
Okay.
it's very, very unassailable, and basically the path that leads directly to it through the swamps of Mirkwood are connected between stone bridges and wooden bridges and flat areas of the swamp where you can actually walk, and all of that leads to the front doors, and the front doors of Dol Guldur of this path is Fenbridge Castle.
Ah.
And
Well, I think my understanding is that is a troubled place at this point.
it's troubled, but it is dealing with orcs and things, I believe. But again, who knows what has been left behind when the necromancer was driven out. But if she said that Ruthel said that there were similar markings that on the cursed items that she saw also while fighting in Fenbridge Castle during the Alliance.
Ah, excellent.
So there might be more to find because she could probably not have found it all while basically dodging a troll's club.
Well, that does seem like interesting to me as well. Just for the lore alone to kind of understand more of the ruins that is occurring and understand what's going on more, and if there's anything we can do to help Gandalf and anyone else that's afflicted with this as well as Legoland. So
Well, whatever this is dark sorcery, and Fenbridge would be a place where dark sorcery would be festered. So, the more information, lore that can be gathered, the faster we can resolve this.
yes, we are concerned about our friend Aegir too, and we need to find him, and hopefully he's on the same trail
Your
headed towards that direction. So
yes, your friend was definitely not himself. But I believe that once he reaches, maybe that the travel will take some of the how would you describe it? The anger, the frustration, the fire that has been set within him will take some of that out, and that Radagast will be able to bring him back to calm.
yeah, I agree. I think so that some time and traveling and stuff too as well. But I am sure he is very concerned about his uncle, or it has been on his mind for over a year. Um, and so I know that he is seeking that out too, and that is what's driving him as much as what drove me to bring you back to your health and bring us back.
Radagast knows quite well the areas of Western Mirkwood. I am not so sure that he might have been better going to seek Bjorn if his uncle was traveling along the Anduin. But he was bound and determined to seek out Radagast.
Excellent. Well, that's where we shall head as shortly as possible.
And as for your second point, why are you so certain that it is you that has inspired the elves to go wayward? Didn't
Well,
possibly all they needed was an excuse?
yeah, they may be. I mean, they may be. I have heard, and I mention, like in Yada's name that he is using me as my thoughts, my words, my songs, and the joy that it brings as reasons to basically defy the king. I don't know if the king, has been sending that kind of message of, keeping people safe within the caves and not going without. But I know that you at times disagree with your father, as any son would. But I certainly don't want to be a source of a problem. And I think your father has realized in the past that all of the kingdoms working together are stronger than one kingdom alone, and has much time and history with that. So he may be
What happened to
deceived.
me brought my father to great grief and made him wish to protect everybody like any father would. And so he limited travel, limited cut back on the envoys that he sent out, and he made it a very difficult to leave with the king's blessing. There they see you traveling about doing great deeds, and they believe that they should be able to do great deeds and live the life that they live. It's just not the fact that it's you, it's the fact that it's somebody that they see that speaks something inside of them that they're not that is being neglected in them.
Well, in one sense, I agree with them in and what their thoughts are. My actions aren't against King Thranduil if he would tell me otherwise, and if if need be, if he would need to imprison me, I guess he would have to do that as well if he
Nah,
thought
my
my
father
actions
thinks
were
nothing
not
but
needed.
the my father thinks nothing of the world of you. He believes that what these elves would do, they would, if it wasn't you, it would be something else that they would see. If it wasn't something else they'd see, it would be a song from ages past that would catch their inspiration, and they would interpret it that way. It is simply you that, because of your greatness these recent years, that they have latched onto, and my father is quite aware of this.
Well, I would
They
just
are using
ask
you as an
that.
excuse.
Yeah, I would just ask if you speak to your father and have his ear, just tell him to be kindly on these people because I think they wish the best for our people and for all of Middle Earth. Um, and it is possible that they may bring greatness to us even further and bring more unity. Look at the great wine that will be coming here soon from the humans and that have continued. So I think isolation is not going to really help anybody whatsoever. But I understand why he's protecting everybody. He cannot protect
It is not,
everybody in the
and
world.
it
It is
is not truly isolationist as much as it is protecting this corner of Mirkwood, protecting the woodland realm. And he has found a method that has worked for thousands of years for protecting these borders, and it is not known or it is not completely respected by the wayward elves. And by them not patrolling, by them not doing what needs to be done to keep the enemy out of these lands, it makes us weaker. And that is his concern toward them.
I understand. I understand. Well, we will. I will try my best when I talk to them and try to convince them. I discussed with them already that they should talk to the king about their actions and their their movements as well. So and the location that they're going to seek within the land. Um, so we hope for the best regarding that. We're not going to be able to control everything. I felt myself that I was cursed by the shadow, and everyone that came by me and that touched my life was damaged and injured by the shadow,
Why would you feel that? Why
including
would you
your
think that?
including yourself. I felt the oppression of the shadow on me, and it was only through um, learning more about the shadow from Saruman and learning that it is not me, but an agent of dark arts who is collaborating all this stuff. So it is not that. But I received received word from one of the people of Lothlorien, one of the wise and ancient elves, that possibly I was the source of this trouble. But I learned that it is not me. It is an individual um, who is creating all this problem and causing all the agents of shadow to work together. So I think we need to work when your strength is better, Prince, to help aid us in dispatching this individual and break his communications with his agents of the shadow. I think that will be useful in bringing the whole kingdom and Middle Earth together.
Those are lofty ideals, and I hope that you're right. Then he goes, "Come. It has been too long since you've heard music and laughter in these halls. Remember what we strive for. Remember."
I agree. So I put my arm around him, tap him, and say, "Come, friend, let us share in the merrymaking."
Yeah. Thror, what are you up to while they're out there talking?
Oh, I'm enjoying the good song and food and just making my rounds. I did casually drop the Aegir's name every now and then to see if anybody had spoken with him, and trying to
Make a persuade roll.
All right, a 2.
A 2? Okay. Eridhel, a fairly big and buff elf for an elf, says, he was here about 4 days ago. What took advantage of our hospitality and left at dawn.
He did.
He did. He kept on saying he was needed to find out something about his uncle, and that only Radagast would know the truth about it.
All right. How did he go to Radagast?
I don't know why he chose to, but he wasn't of right mind. I saw that there was blood on his cloak, and I could tell that it was hastily spilt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe he would have left it unwashed.
Right. He came across some bandits that had invaded his uncle's cabin and had chased his uncle away. So he's in great haste to find him, and he must think Radagast has a way to find him.
Then I wish him well, but fear for those that get between him and his goal. His haste could be a danger to himself as well as to others.
It may. So that is why we must make haste to catch up with him. Thank you for letting me know what you know of this. It is much appreciated. If you are in Erebor at any time, please make sure that you mention me, and my family will take care of you while you're there.
Will do. So you guys rest for 2 days. You heal 4 points of fatigue back.
Excellent.
And what else happens? Does anything else happen? Thranduil summons you both to his kingdom the night before you leave.
All right. So I kind of bow before him and say, "Thank you, my lord, for summoning me. I apologize if I have created this secondary type of separation or revolution of with Enyata and the 400 elves that want to move to the Enclave area. it was not collaborated necessarily by me, but I do believe that there is some goodness in what they're trying to do, and I realize that they are not listening to your wisdom, which has kept our people safe. But I guess we all have to take risks, including myself, at times for the greater good.
My friend, many of those 400 were out there before you even left here. They had decided that were tired of living under a military-like lifestyle. That they no longer feared the enemy, no longer believed the shadow was a threat to them, that the orcs could penetrate the kingdom. They wanted to sing and dance and feast as if there was no, as if it was there was no buddy named Sauron who had invaded our history. And despite what I said, despite what the prince had said, they decided that they knew best and were going to live their life on their terms. What can I say?
Yeah.
It is not your fault that you have had it out. It is simply that they found somebody that I respect and use that as their banner for their movement. It is not that there is nothing you have done that has caused any shame.
Well, my lord, I love you and my prince with all my heart, and I wish that I could trade places with you. I understand that your position of leadership is both a blessing and a curse, and I wish I could trade with you positions so that you could travel through Middle Earth and delight in all of its joys. And I'm sorry that the crown brings on so much responsibility and so much time of having to decipher and rule what is right and wrong to do, and so much worry and distraught. And if there is anything I can do to lift that sorrow from you, I wish I am. I hope that the songs that are being sung can bring you away from your responsibilities at times, and I wish that you could travel with us, and someday I hope that we could travel together and share each other's companionship out on the road with carefree.
I would like that greatly much. However, if the golden deer shows up, I would like to ride with you in the great hunt to hunt for the golden deer, and you will be invited to ride by my side during that.
It would be my honor, my liege.
But what I think, as you are wishing to bring peace to my mind, I believe that you have a friend who needs peace brought to his mind. He is greatly disturbed by things that have haunted him over the winter, just like I was greatly haunted when my son fell under that enchantment. What foul deeds have come upon me have also come upon your friend, and you need to get to him before he does something that cannot be undone.
And please keep in mind, and also, if we could be of any aid or anything we can do to help Miss Randir as well, for we are concerned about him and the growth of the shadow across our lands.
Ruithel said that there possibly was that chance of finding lore in Fenbridge. Even Saruman wouldn't put together a party to go into that castle. It is a great, horrible task, but one that you do not shirk away from. And Ruitho will stand by you on that.
Ah, wonderful. Well, I think that is where Thror and I have agreed that we should be headed in. And was there anything else that you needed of us, or anything else we can do for you?
No, after speaking with my son, I just wanted you to know that you are welcome in my kingdom, and that you are considered a trusted friend. So do not worry, do not hesitate, do not ever think of my halls as anything but home.
That is wonderful to hear, my lord. All I ever wish to be is to just be a diplomat of yourself and our kingdom to the other people of Middle Earth, and hope that I can do that for you until the time that I take the ships back to our lands.
Then it shall be. He goes, Linder is prepared to, is got the pony set, and Belgo, and good job teaching him the songs. I greatly enjoyed that.
You're welcome, my lord.
And we have a safe travel.
Thank you, my lord. I appreciate it. May blessings be upon you and the prince, and may we hope that you all stay in the best of health and wisdom be upon you and all your decisions, and may I see you soon before this year pass.
I wish the same. Good day. So you head on out. After Lindar and some other elves escort you out of the caves by a secret route and bring you some miles down the elf path. This part of the wood is not so oppressive. The path is lined with beeches, and sunlight filters through the trees to dapple everything with green gold light. This region still preserves the beauty and peace of Greenwood the Great. Lindar warns you that you will soon enter more perilous regions, and he gives you a key piece of advice. Don't leave the path. The path is mostly clear of trouble, but the same cannot be said of the woods beyond. He's led you to a point where the enchanted stream crosses the elf path, and he brings you across by boat, and the pony is temporarily relieved of its load, and the elves warn you not to drink from the stream. And once your feet are firmly on the path, Lindar bids you good luck and vanishes into the shadows of the trees. You are now on your own, and you face a long journey. So that's the first 40 miles by foot over hard terrain. It's going to take 3 days. Make one travel test. TN 12.
No worries. 19.
Eye of Sauron.
Eye of Sauron. Let's see who gets affected.
Hopefully there's a pony salesman in the woods.
Who is the huntsman?
Probably Thror. I only got one in hunting. You said earlier that you were really good at hunting.
I have Explorer. I don't have Honey.
All right. Well, then I have one in hunting.
Yep.
Yeah, I have Travel, and Travel's my best.
So as you are gathering extra food for Belgo and Beldar, you've come across webs that cross the several streams on the path that you are traveling. Make a hunting roll. As you are finding these bridges of spider webs.
13.
You manage to find basically where the spiders are nesting and where they are have set up their traps, so that you can lead the company safely away from this. However, this does involve going off the path for a while.
Ah.
Who is your lookout?
I guess that would be me.
Your explorer.
Yeah. Explore roll. Very good. Success with 19.
19.
Mm-hmm.
You are traveling through the woods. As a thunderstorm breaks out, and you are getting soaked to the skin, and are having a hard time. The rest of you are beginning to doubt that you know where you're going. There's no sign of any path. You're just wandering around trees and deals, and visibility is getting harder as a mist is rising up from the forest floor. When you suddenly come across a cave wall, and on the door, it seems to be magic doors, some kind of ancient dwarven outpost along the path, and it says in Dwarven, in runes above the door, "You may rest as long as a wizard's wonder." What do you do?
A wizard's wonder?
You may rest as long as a wizard's wonder.
That seems like forever.
I don't know. If it's fireworks, it only lasts for a moment.
That's a good point.
So,
You guys can make a riddle roll if you like.
Okay, I'll do the riddle roll. And
Five.
5? Yes, fireworks. It's definitely you need to light fireworks at the door.
All right, so we can only
So I only rolled a 9, so not much better. Any chance we can use lore?
You can use a point of hope.
A point of hope? Okay. Oh, I can use a point of hope, then that would be good. So yeah, point of hope would get me to... Is that favored? No, it's not favored. It would give me a 14.
You realize that a wizard's wonder is his spells. It's his magic. And you just should speak the Elvish word for magic.
Okay. Very good.
So I will speak the Elvish word for magic, and I do have.
It is Nodo.
Okay.
I was going to say Mojo.
You say Nodo, and the doors swing open into a very musty, dusty inn that hasn't been really cared for in hundreds of years. But it is dry.
It's actually in.
It's kind of a traveler's rest. Think of it as a rest stop.
All right.
But with some beds that are barely serviceable.
So I tell the young man, I kind of kid to him about how the dwarves took shelter from the storm after the trolls, and what happened from there. I'm like, there's no chance that lightning would strike twice in the same kind of instance. So we'll be safe.
Bilgo goes, lightning does strike twice. I've seen it strike twice. Remember the tree, Dad? Remember the tree?
Not in Mirkwood, my son. Maybe outside the Greenwood, but it never strikes twice in the Greenwood. Do I need to roll a deception roll or something?
He hangs on to your word on there
Okay.
for now.
I really think this is a trap, but I'm trying to calm everyone down.
You can make a persuade roll if you like.
All right.
Can I do a craft check on the area?
Yeah. What are your specialties?
Specialties are fire making, trading, and ore floor.
Do you have like anything with stone for trade or anything?
No stone.
All right, then roll your craft.
Okay. Excellent. Gandalf +7.
This is a very well constructed cave. It's probably was only found because it's a bit off of the path, and probably there was a clearing where you could wander down a little hill to get off the path to it, but all the travelers stay on the path, so this hasn't been found in hundreds of years. And it's built by dwarves, so it's got that kind of master construction that will keep the rain out, and the magic of the doors will keep enemies out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I say to Belgo with my 12 persuade. I'm like, look at this. You've experienced the beauty of the Elven Kingdom, like I told you, and wasn't it what it was? And look at how safe this dwarven construction is here, imbued with magic. You should have a very restful sleep, my young Belgo, tonight.
One of the elf maidens tried to put me in a dress.
Cheers.
Well, you know what? That remember how we talked about, you becoming a man and everything like that?
Yeah.
Any kind of attention you'll get from the ladies, it's all good. That means they like you. I wouldn't go about wearing dresses, but the fact that they're actually paying attention to you like that, it's pretty good. That means they like you.
Well, okay. And Baldur says, "Yeah, I would re-emphasize the part about not going around in dresses."
Yeah. So you can take that dress out of your pack, and we can leave it right here.
I can take that dress. Don't worry.
Anybody have any other stories they'd like to tell tonight while you're camped out in this little way station?
I mean, just like I said, just to tell the story of the of Bilbo and the stone trolls, and talk about the cave where they found Glamring and the other sword, and that story, and then the story about the goblins and how the swords help them escape from there, and that kind of thing.
I bet there are swords here. And Belgo starts like busting open all the boxes and things, and it's there's a lot of traveling supplies, some serviceable, some not serviceable. As he's going, no, I'm sure the next box has got to have swords in it.
Well, if you find any shovels, we know that the shovels are worth like more money than swords. So, in these days,
Baldur laughs himself silly and lights his pipe.
So, can we search around the cave to see if there's anything else of interest?
Sure. It's not that big of a place. It's like 15 feet square, and it's got about 3 beds. Maybe one of them is serviceable, that it's not going to collapse under anybody's weight, even Belgo's weight.
Okay.
You don't even need to roll for it. There's traveling supplies. If there's a general kind of traveling supply that you think you need, you can probably find it in one of the crates as long as it's not perishable.
Okay. Traveling supplies. Well, since we're headed towards mountains, I would think we'd want some rope.
Well, you're heading toward through the
The ford.
forests toward the
The ford.
river, so you're going to be entering
Okay.
more grassy golf course like lands, and
Okay.
and following the forest back down to, if you choose to go to Radagast, or if you choose to go to the river first and all the way to the old ford.
Okay. All right, then. Yeah, there's probably not a lot we need at this point. Okay. All right, we rest for the night.
Make awareness checks at night.
Awareness.
I didn't get the lowest score I could, but close enough. I got a 4.
I beat you. I got a 3.
Oh, see, I could have gotten a 3, but or I could have got an ISO on, but I got a 4. So yeah, everything's good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
I am sleeping like a rock.
You wake up and you find the front doors wide open.
We didn't close the door last night. Oh, bring more.
That wasn't me.
And Baldur is not there.
Baldor's not here. Where's the boy?
Belgo is there sleeping. And he's holding a walking stick like it's a sword.
He's awake.
Nope, he's asleep.
He's asleep. Okay. We better go out and look for him.
Yeah, I'll just go out and call to him. I'm sure he's just trying to find us some breakfast.
Maybe we should maybe try and track his trail. See if you know what direction he went. Maybe he's a sleepwalker.
Well, you want to stay with the boy, or
Yeah, I'll come outside, and if the boy comes out, then I'll be here. But I'll come out and at least watch you as far as you can get.
all right. So I'll try to use my my speaker's virtue and just look at the ground and stuff like that and the path and see if it can tell me anything about what had happened with I'm getting the names wrong, but Baldur.
You see tracks and you see webs.
Great.
So I go back and tell Thor of what I see. You want to bring the boy with us? No time like the present.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to bring the boy. Can't leave him here. The spiders have already been.
The door the door is will keep any enemy out.
Okay. Then we'll have to wake the boy and tell him to stay here. And we're not back by the morning. We better not tell him anything. We'll be back. Alright. We'll wake the boy and tell him he needs to stay here. Keep the door shut. We'll if the door opens, it'll be us. Your father must have gone out to go to the restroom, and we're not sure where he's at, but we'll find him.
We need someone brave here to guard this fortress while we're gone, and I kind of ask him, is he up for that, to be able to guard this fortress all by himself, or?
I can do this. I know I can do this.
Okay, well then I will be holding you to that, Baldur, that you can do this. We will be back shortly.
Okay. You go along a ridge and you find some webs, and you find a Baldur-shaped sack of web hanging from a tree.
How come all our friends end up in webs?
In trees.
There are a lot of...
Why is the dwarf always climbing a tree in this episode?
They're not giant... They're addercops. They're not giant spiders.
Great. Okay.
Can we roll battle rolls?
Make your battle rolls.
I got a Gandalf.
All right, we'll count that as 2 successes.
And I got a 14.
14, that's a 3rd success. So you have 3 dice that you can use, but you got to declare that when you roll it.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I think we should use them straight off.
There are 4 addercops surrounding. One of them looks like he's about to go in for a sip of Baldur's blood.
All right, well, I'll do my opening volley with my woodland bow, so I get an action, before stuff even starts,
Okay.
combat-wise. And I am going to try to do something new, which is a called shot.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so I need to succeed and get at least 1 Tengu item on my success dice. So here we go. I did not get a Tengu, so that my total is a 15. But what that would mean is pretty much I miss.
The 15 units.
Just because
Yep.
I made it a called shot.
So you fire, and the arrow hits the tree.
So I am going to use my awe and try to scare them off if I can. I'm going
All right.
to,
What stance are you taking?
I will take a. I guess I'll go forward so I can get their attention.
Okay.
So.
And I will.
To me.
And I'll have to go in. I'll have to go in swinging because legally I need 2 people in melee for me to do a bow. So I'll go in with my sword. So I will. I guess I'm gonna do open stance.
Open stance. Okay.
I'm in great shape. I just rolled a Tengu with a 20.
Tango with a 20. That is going to take away 2 points of hate. So they lose their ability from them. That stinks. That's how many points of hate they had.
Oh wow, that's awesome, George.
Cool.
Yes,
Good job, Thor.
So
Thor.
what do you say, Joe? What do you say, Thor?
I said, get your bloodthirsty lips away from him and be gone.
Yeah,
Before I rip your throats out.
and that shot was just a warning. I didn't want to hurt you.
Brimborn, where do you go?
Where am I gonna go?
Yeah, who do you attack?
Oh, I'm not gonna. If they're running away,
They're not running away. They just ran out of hate. They ran out of basically their hope went to 0.
Oh, okay, all right.
They're not
Then,
craven.
Whatever one we'll just call this guy was, gonna stuck on him. Was going to attack him, then I'll attack him. Is it my turn? Open
It
stance?
is your turn.
Okay. Well, I got an Eye of Sauron.
Eye of Sauron. So on his move, he gets to do a called shot. So on his turn, he will try to do a called shot on you. That would be a sting attack. And so you see, I got my brand new One Ring dice from the from Gen Con.
Gen Con?
Yeah.
Sweet. Were those
Those
from
are
actually from Cubicle 7 or they're
they're from Cubicle 7, made by 7 Precious for the Dice Bearer.
Nice.
By Q Workshop is the company that manufactured these.
Yeah, I'm
specific.
familiar with them. Yeah, those are beautiful. It's nice to have something different off the top of those. So I have a different set you can get or whatever in general. It's kind of overwhelming with Gen Con. We got to, I don't know, maybe a total of 10 or 12 booths, and I mean, I didn't get to see Chris West. I didn't get to see a lot of places that I would want to go. We just never had time. But I mean, we had a great time. We just didn't have enough free time to get around the exhibit hall.
So now I have enough dice. I'm running at Queen City Conquest a 8-hour game that's broken into 2 parts of the One Ring.
Nice.
So now, now I have my own set of dice, and I have 2 sets of dice for the table.
Oh, wonderful! Awesome. Yeah, I think it's good to have actually have the actual One Ring dice rather than. I mean, it's okay to have regular dice and use it, but it's nice to have the ISR and then the Tengus and all that stuff on the dice. I think it makes it better and easier and brings you into the whole spirit of the game. So nice to have beautiful dice too. So
all
right,
that is
so do your work.
15 plus 5. That's a 20 with a Tengu to get you.
Yep.
So they have made you drop your sword.
Okay.
That was the action of that. This guy goes in to seize you, to ensnare you. Yeah, it's the ensnare. Six misses. This guy goes around to Thor. It goes to Sting. That's a 12. So that is a 6. What's your parry?
Parry's only a 5.
So that gets you by 1. Let's see. Spiders. The Sting causes attribute level damage. 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. Okay.
Other one hops through into the tree and tries to ensnare you. That's a 12. You are ensnared in spider webbing. You have to make a body check to get out of that.
Okay.
So it's your turn.
Okay. Guess I'll make a body check. Actually, can we change stance?
You can change stances, sure.
Okay, I'll be more defensive then, so... And I'll try to make that body check.
Okay, but so, Ella Brimborn, are you going to change stance?
Yeah, I'll go to defensive as well.
Okay.
So what's the body check?
Yep, make a body check, or you can make just a typical attack.
Oh, can I attack? Okay. I'll attack the one if I can attack him right now.
Well, you're attacking basically to get free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'll definitely attack to get free. Alright, so that's 8, 9, 12, 17.
17, you managed to break free of the spider webbing on your turn.
Okay.
Ella Brimborn.
All right. If I cannot reach the sword, then I do have a dagger too, so I'll pull the dagger out. This is pretty desperate, but I will do that, and I will tease these guys and try to pull them away from our friend over there in the webbing, and make myself more attractive to
Do you
them.
take a stab before you run?
If I'm permitted.
Yeah, sure.
That would be a 15 with a 10 go.
15, that, let's see, 12 plus their attribute. 15, that is exactly what you need. So that hits great, so that you add your body to the damage.
Okay, so that's 8 damage.
8, not enough to take out the guy, but still pretty dang good damage for a dagger.
All right, and my whole goal, I guess, is going to be I don't know if I can sweep around to get. I realize it's kind of stupid for me to go around, sword, but I guess I'll ask Thror if he's got a secondary weapon as well.
You can just on this turn basically kick the hilt of your sword, and it'll pop up into your hand. That's not a problem.
Okay.
It's just you just can't. The point is you can't use it on that turn.
I'm not really good at the sword or the dagger, but that's the way it is. And then I'll try to move and bring them with me away from our friend.
That guy is definitely going after you. This guy is definitely going after you. They both go for sting attacks. 10 will miss with defensive position. 16. What's your parry?
I got it's 7, and then I got a shield.
So
Plus 2 with the shield.
you're fine. So you clank the guy off of you for that. This guy's not happy. He's not. He's a very doesn't even realize that you broke free of the webbing, and is just gonna try to sting you, not even aware that you're free. Thor, and 9, 11, that misses. And this guy climbs the tree and heads on over to Baldur. That brings us to Thor.
Okay, so I am going to attack the one that I just did next to me. Awesome. 10, 17, 20. 20 to hit.
That hits.
And damage of 8.
8, that's what the dagger did on him. So you smash the spider, and it scurries back against the cleft a little bit, but it's still in the fight.
Okay. Can I move now?
Yeah, you can move.
Alright, then I'll move up here to try and engage this guy.
Yep. Ella Brimborn, what would you like to do?
Well, I assume I would have probably had to, if I got my shield, I probably would have dropped the dagger to pop the sword up in my hand too, and then I'm just gonna taunt them and just, Ettercop with your belly so saggy. Your mother hatched you from a cabbage patch so laggy. I don't know. It's really terrible. Anyways, then I swing a sword at him. I hope I do better than my rhyming.
Going after the one you hit before or the one you didn't?
The one I hit before.
Okay.
That would be a 14 with a Tengu.
14,
With
12.
a
Nope, you missed by one. It clanks off of their hide.
all right, no problem. But
You want to spend a point of
still
hope?
try to.
Do you want to spend a point of hope?
You should use battle die too.
Sure.
Battle die you gotta
Yeah,
spend before him.
yeah.
Right.
I said I know that's the funny thing is I said we're going to use them from straight away and then we didn't do it. But I will try to remember next turn. Yeah, I'll use a point of hope.
Okay, and that'll do, what, 8 points of damage?
It would be my sword is only 5 because I'm using it one-handed.
Okay, well, he had 4 points left, so you drive it into him and it goes, writhes on the ground and dies. This guy attacks you to do a sting. And not gonna do it with the defensive stance as you bounce him. He bounces off your shield. This guy is not gonna let Thor out of his sight and is gonna chase him up. And he basically has a hard time climbing the tree, and Thor like kicks him off the tree. This guy is up here. He'll make like an acrobatics roll to try to get to Baldur as the tree is shaking. And he critically succeeds and digs his fangs into Baldur.
Ooh.
That brings us to Thor.
Okay, well, I will crush him, and I'm going to use a battle die. Excellent. So that is a 10. I hit edge, and I actually got 2 Tengu. So that's what's that? 27.
Cool.
So he does 18 injury.
18 injury. Let's do this just for fun. There's the spiders. Armor's 2D. What was the armor? The armor again? The injury?
18.
18. And you managed to chop off 4 of its legs, and it falls down.
Awesome.
Ella Brimborn?
All right, see if you give me a little time, then I can write things down. So then I say, Old Tom Noddy with the gangly body. You cannot catch me with legs so shoddy, and I swing my sword at him.
Don't forget the battle die.
Yep. Thank
Using
you.
the battle die?
Yes.
Okay.
My battle die was a 1. Anyways, but it might make a difference. So that's a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. So still it's one-handed, so 5 damage to that guy would be fresh damage.
Okay, you poke him at him, and some interesting pus goes flying out of him, but he's still in the fight. On this turn, though, they are out of hate, and 2 of their buddies are gone, so they take off.
If I can, I'll try to shoot him.
Alright, roll your bow.
Yeah. Shoot the one I hit before.
15.
15 hits.
All right. So that'd be another 5 damage.
Okay. It limps off, but it does not die. At least not today.
Take that.
Quick question. I don't know if I did this right. So on an injury, I hit edge, but I had 2 tango. Do I add body to that injury?
When you have not to the injury, you just do add. That just adds to the damage.
Just to the damage. Okay. All right.
That would add 2 times your body to it.
Okay. If I would hit, and since it's a favored weapon, it would be the favored body then.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay.
So
You want to try and heal the
Yeah.
ball door?
Yeah, I will attempt that. I'm not really good at healing, but at least I got something in it. 7.
7. He is not. He's a little bit weakened, but he hasn't. He only lost a little blood in there. He's kind of slow from the toxins and stuff, and your 7 kind of gets him going again. And he's kind of cries, and he turns to you and says, "I swear I heard her. I woke up and I swear I heard my wife calling for me. And I could hear my baby daughter crying out in the rain, and I ran out to find them."
That's okay, my friend. I scoop them up in my arms and I try to head back to the shelter that we were at. So I'll actually physically carry him.
Okay. Which is quite a... Make an athletics check. This is a big guy.
25.
You actually managed to carry him all the way back.
I'm like, Thor, are you coming?
I thought I'd take a quick search and see if there's any kind of treasure from the other casts.
All right. Well,
there's 5 points of treasure.
5 points. Okay. Then I will follow as soon as I grab the 5 points of treasure.
Don't rally behind.
Somebody needs to make an explore roll to find the path again.
Okay. I'm like, you can take my. I owe you treasure points, Thor. So, you know.
All right. Don't worry about that after the adventure. All right. I'm going to explore. And beautiful. 9, 12, and the Tengu's 18. 18 with a Tengu.
Oh, there's the path.
Alright, awesome. And do we get a chance to recover any of the damage?
Yep, you can take a rest and you get your heart's amount of hit points back.
Okay. Alright, perfect. That helps. Okay. Let's try and stay on the path. We were warned about that.
Yeah, and the first thing we did was actually go off of it.
Right. I don't remember even saying I wanted to go off the path. I just remember we went off of the path.
It's day 1, and we went off of it immediately.
Yeah.
So I try to send some kind of animal envoy back to Granduil's kingdom and make them aware that there's a spider nest on the path that needs to be cleared off. So.
Okay.
Or to any elven scouts that might be here, on the path before it gets back to the kingdom. So
as you as you get back on the path, you find kind of an elvish fort up there, up in the trees, and you're able to climb on up and alert the patrols up there that there's a nearby nest that needs to be cleared out. Because the elves don't build forts and things out separate. They build them as part of the trees that fit into a kind of treehouse style. So you just need to know where to look way up there, and you can climb on up and let the guardians watching over the path know. So the next part is 90 miles traveled by foot over hard terrain through borderlands. This takes about 8 days. Make 2 fatigue tests.
Okay.
The path is not easy to follow. It winds its way around the trunks of great trees. Sometimes it's so narrow the pony barely fits on it. And then there are places where you can sense it has a foul mood. It bucks up sharp hills, winds sharply down through thick mud before returning to the gloomy skyless path, winding its way around. Off the path you see bridges of spider silk leading across streams. Bats frequently wake you from your sleep at night.
So these travel rolls or fatigue rolls?
These are travel rolls.
Okay.
Fatigue rolls are travel.
18 for my first, and a 16 for my second.
So you are not going to let Mirkwood hurt your spirits?
I got a 9 the first day and a 9 the second day.
You are beginning to get worn down. That's 4 points that you lose. You are getting really tired as you reach around. Make a explore roll, both of you.
Okay. 18.
9.
18-9. You notice some weird flowers in there that seem to pulse almost like they have a heartbeat on them. And Ella Brimborn, being very tired, steps on one of them, and it suddenly pops like a balloon, and the spores surround his body and immediately go up his nose and down his throat. You can't breathe. What do you guys do?
Can I drag him out of there real fast?
Sure. Make an athletics test.
Tango with a 20.
You manage to leap over several of those other ones and drag him out as he's gagging. He takes 4 points of loses 4 points of endurance.
Mm-hmm.
As he still can't breathe, as all this pollen is still up his nose and clogging his airways.
Can I invoke my Mirkwood lore and see if I know anything about this plant? If it exists in Mirkwood, and what's the remedy for it?
Yes.
One of my traits.
These are called the choking spores. What you need to do is to take a bit of, where is it called? The Evermind flower. Dip it into the a stream, and then basically swab your throat with it, and it will clear it out. So somebody needs to quickly find an Evermind flower.
Okay, I'll search for an Evermind flower.
I don't know if I'm in any shape to look.
You can look. You can look. You're just kind of choking as you're doing this.
Okay.
So I got 19. 19.
19. You find an Evermind flower.
Okay.
You dip it in, and you only lose 1 more point of endurance, Ella Brimborn, before he gets it to you so you can swab your throat with it.
All right. Got it.
And that's when you look back and see Baldur choking on it too.
There didn't happen to be 2 flowers there?
There are 2 flowers. You just noticed Baldur back behind you guys.
Alright.
He didn't
He's
roll
walking
too
down.
well.
Well, I will treat him.
And Belgo is just screaming, and he's getting some pollen down his throat as he's screaming with his mouth wide open and the pollen having a place to go to.
We will treat both of them.
Okay.
Children first.
The other way. The other way
Look for
of
another
treating.
flower.
Okay. Make look for another flower.
I'll look.
20.
You
With a
find
tango.
you find a whole patch full of them.
Okay. I stick a bunch extra in my pocket in my pack.
Okay.
But I treat him as well. You were saying the other way to treat it is to
The other way is basically to suck on a certain type of what's that called? Excretion from a tree, sap that will induce vomiting. That's the other way of getting rid of it.
What was this flower called again?
It is called the white
choking spores.
the
and
white Evermind,
Never mind. Okay.
and what you found with the choking spores. So
Very good.
you have 50 more days, 50 more miles of traveling over hard terrain through the borderlands. Takes 4 days. One test.
I posted a sign, do not walk on the lawn.
16 with 2 tengus.
Excellent.
Travel.
Yeah, travel.
Very good. Oh, I was soaring. Wow, it's 2.
Okay. If you want to make it that easy on me, sure.
This is like rolling the random surprise checks in AD&D, and getting the 1 on the D6.
Well, it's... Where are my guys? Over there. Oh, come on, I have plenty of them. Oh well. Just... You come across a camp not about 5 miles from the edge of the forest. And they get the ambush on you. Actually, you get a chance to do it. Make a lookout. So make an awareness check for me, please, Thor.
Okay. Oh, I got lucky. Gandalf and a 1.
You hear voices up ahead of men and women saying things to a degree of, so once we rob a few more caravans, we'll be able to pay some mercenaries, and then we'll be able to return to Dwar Hollow and drive those orcs from our home.
Considering I hate orcs, that would ring well with me.
And one of them steps out in front of you as she was walking out to get some water, and sees you and goes, "Mercenaries!" and yells for everybody to arms.
No need for arms, I shout.
Make an awareness test for me.
Okay. Probably not do well. 14, actually.
This woman looks surprisingly similar in features and stature to Aegir.
To Aegir.
It looks like they're descended from the same same people.
So I shout that we are no need for arms. We hate orcs as well. We mean you no harm. For you look like our friend Aegir.
Make a persuasion roll.
A big 6.
Your packs seem heavy. We'll take what you have. And your friend Aegir, if he is a Leofring, then he shall come and complain. Both of you can roll your lore now that you have a name.
Okay. Oh, 14.
21.
21.
With a Tengu.
Leofrings are horsemen of the north, very much like the northern version of the men of Rohan. Only they kind of tarried when those that followed Arrow down into the Rittermark. They stayed behind a bit and did their own thing up along the Anduin in the grassy areas there, and formed their own city and things. Some of them were called to service and listened to the Shadow, and others did their tried to excuse me, tried to just have their own life and the city of Dwarahal, and that's when even after those that served the Shadow returned, the orcs attacked and basically slaughtered and pillaged, surprising the hell out of the Leofrings, who are now nomadic people wandering through the Anduin, some even on their way south after generations of following Arrow's people down to the Rittermark.
Wow.
They are basically notoriously arrogant and notoriously bad-tempered and hard to deal with. And they usually are not found in the woods. That must have been driven there by desperation or by orcs.
All right. Well, go ahead.
I was going to use my awe and tell him, no, you won't take your packs, and you'll take us to your leader. So I'll roll my awe.
You want your leader? Roll your awe.
Yeah. Awesome. Tingu with a 19. Oh, actually, I get to roll another feat die. Same roll.
I am Addis. I lead these people. I lead these Leofrings.
That is well met.
We have been driven into banditry. We did not ask to have orcs attack our settlement. We did not ask to be driven from our homes. We were not asked to have our horses taken from us by men of the East. But we are here, and we need to survive. And if you have enough to survive, then will help us that much more.
We will share with you what we have, but we are no friends of orcs, and if you need us to help you fight orcs, we will do so. We are here to find our friend who bears much resemblance to your folk. His name is Aegir. Do you know of him?
We do not know of him, but we do not need of mercenaries. We need of gold right now to pay for an army, not people wandering in the woods.
Well,
definitely not an elf.
Yeah, well, we wish you no harm, but you're basically in the lands of my kingdom. I do not. I hear your story. I do not like your threat. I wish you all the best. Wish you all the best. And I can offer you a point of treasure here in hopes that that can aid you some further. But other than that, my people, and I wish that we part ways of friends, and that I can aid you further. But if you wish a fight, you will not basically lead your people no more.
If you have a point of treasure, then you have more treasure. Get him!
All right. So I focus my attack on the leader.
Okay, I'll make the leader a little bit bigger. What stance do you want?
I will start with open stance.
Were we able to do a battle roll before this all?
Yeah, you can make a battle roll.
Okay, great.
13.
Okay, got it.
13.
Tango with 17.
So that's 2 dice you get.
2, alright.
Thor, what stance would you like?
I'll just do open.
Open? Alright. You are first.
Okay. And I will I'll move to engage these two. And I'll attack the one on my left here.
Can I invoke my woodland bow thing, which is I get a volley no matter what the instance, as long as I'm not surprised?
Absolutely.
All right, so.
You're going to shoot at the leader?
Yeah. 23.
Oh yeah, that hits.
So I did not get edge, so that would be 5 damage.
Okay. They got Addis. For Addis, get him! As he's standing with an arrow sticking through his shoulder.
Addis will die unless you drop your weapons.
Thor?
I will crush the one on my left with a 24, and I hit edge.
Ooh.
So he got an 18.
What's their armor?
It's my normal edge. Or injury.
They only have 1 point of armor. Yeah, you how do you want to do this?
I just full force smash my mattock into his chest, and he rolls back 6 feet.
Okay,
And,
you just took out KO. His sister Dalva comes at you with a spear.
Shame, little girl.
That's a 19. That's
Ooh.
gonna with a Tengu.
Okay. Yes. Parry's 5.
That's gonna do 5 plus attribute. 8 points of damage.
8, alright. Okay.
KO. Let's see. Uses his bow, uses his spear to get at you. Elibrimborn says,
Okay.
"You'll fire an arrow into me." That's a 13. That's nope.
Nine
That's not
plus
gonna make it.
parry of 7. Yeah.
So you managed to parry him. Other guy comes running up from the side and goes, "No, not my husband." And that's gonna miss. This guy back here draws a bow and fires at Ella Brimborn. And rolls a Gandalf symbol and 2 1s. So that'll hit this person over here and do 5 points of damage to her. Alright. Thor.
So do I still get my... So my woodland bow lets me get an open volley before I even get to go into the sword mode. So I still get to attack at an open stance then?
Yes, you do.
Okay. So I'm using a battle die.
Yep.
Because I will need it. And I hit edge with a 23.
Whoa, yeah, that hits considerably.
On the leader. I'm like...
Leader. With 1 piece of armor. And misses edge, but that's a named character, so they have 1 wound. 1 more wound, they drop.
I'm like...
How much damage was that? 5?
Yeah, it would be 5. My injury rating is 16. Does that mean anything or no? If I hit edge, like I hit edge.
Right, 16 is what they have to make on their armor to do it, and they failed that. But this
so
is
they get the wound. So they
this
get 5 damage and the wound.
5
Yeah.
and a wound, and because this is the leader gets 2 wounds before he goes night night.
All right. So I say, I'm like, order your followers to lay down their arms, and we will harm you no further. Other than that, we will do what we promised. It was not a threat.
Yep. And Thor?
So I'll go to defensive stance.
Defensive stance? Do you want to change stance, Thor?
I think I'm in open. I'll just stay open for 1 more round. So I'm gonna hit the girl with the spear.
Yep.
And, 3 6s, 4
Whoa.
6s.
Whoa!
Plus only just a 4 though. So that's 4 times 7, 28 plus 8, 36 of
Oh my God.
damage.
That's probably the highest.
36 points of damage, and you decapitate her.
Yeah. and
Elabrimbor?
I roared for them to drop your weapons before more must die.
Are they all? They're all doing defensive, or
They're all in their own combat fighting you. They don't
okay?
they don't take stances.
Oh, okay. All right. So, can you do like non-lethal stuff or not really?
Yeah, you can say that you're going non-lethal.
All right. I'm using the other battle die. Since it doesn't seem like Thor needs it. I hit.
I got my Matic this time, so I
I
spent all my
hit.
experience and my money.
I hit edge again. I got another 20. I got a 23. I don't know what I got last time. I thought I got a
Jeez.
23 last time. Hit edge again.
And tell me how you take out the leader.
Well, I guess I'm gonna. I mean, I don't want to. I don't necessarily kill them, but I guess I want to. You know, take them out. Take them out completely. Just like kind of conk them on the head with the pommel of my sword. I just look for an opening on him and see that he's distracted with leading everyone, and then I hit him with the pommel and create another wound on him, but not enough to kill him.
Okay. His
I'm
wife.
like I'm like, lay down, everyone else, lay down your weapons. You will meet the fate of all your fellow kin.
His
Lay down
wife.
your weapons right now.
His wife Forza goes at you and misses. The archer fires at you. That's the cock die, and that's gonna miss. And that's when the trees part a little bit.
Oh,
Ruithil is here with their elves.
hmm.
3 elves show up and they fire their arrows.
They're all down.
That's a wound to this person. Yeah, they are an army right there. And this elf. I have Sauron breaks her bow. There's one, and the one remaining one over here, by the name of Forza, surrenders. It says, "Don't slaughter us all. We're just trying to make our way in this world."
Yeah, unfortunately, I asked you to drop your weapon earlier, but you did not until there was a greater show of force.
Ruithil walks up and says, "Elabrimbor, it is good to see you again."
Good to see you again. I embrace her and speak, Elven words of greeting to her. I have missed you and have been. I am grateful that you are in good health again.
This is the captain of the guard thing, not the ranger.
Oh, all right. Yeah, but it's not the person that we're supposed to meet at the edge of the forest.
It is the person you were supposed to meet. I just don't want you to confuse her with the ranger, Lorith.
Right.
This is the person you're supposed to meet. And she says, "It looks like we have some prisoners to take to Thranduil's castle to spend some time in the jail."
Yes, I would agree.
And he goes, "What brings you out here to the western edge of Mirkwood?"
Have you come across Aegir? We're seeking him out. Has he met? Have you met? Have you met him on his journey out this way?
I passed him on the way out here, where he was heading toward the old ford. Actually,
All right. Well, we
actually, I retconned that. Actually, he was heading southbound to Roscovo to meet with Radagast.
that is where we journey to as well. So if you can give us any news of orcs or anything down that way, so we can avoid them, that would be much appreciated. Any scouting reports?
It should be fairly safe around Roscovo. It's south of there is where you once you reach around the Tyrant's Hill, but they've even pushed the orcs back into the caves around Dol Guldur. So it should be a pretty easy ride through the Anduin Vales.
Excellent. Well, these are troubled times when I even have to ask you of scouting reports for orcs. For this was not something a year ago when we met that we even I would even ask you of such a question. I am sorry to be so presumptive of that. We've just encountered a lot.
It is better to ask than to be taken by surprise.
But that is good news. Is there anything we can aid you with, or information from the Elven Kingdom? Are you well informed?
I am quite well. Do you have any information about the identity of these brigands?
Yeah. So I guess we tell her what we know, and that they've been driven out of their homestead by the homestead of Dorhall from the orcs, and have had their horses removed from them too. And this is their leader, Adis, and they become a nomadic people and very, very desperate, changed from a noble people to a bunch of bandits, desperate.
It is sad.
Kale and Galva as deceased members of their group.
It is sad that that blood has been spilled when when all the forces should unite against the orcs that have driven them. But someday,
I agree.
We will accomplish this.
Unfortunately, these people don't seem to have any respect for the Elven Kingdom, either that of Mirkwood or King Tranduil, as they refuse to respond to even that of being in someone else's land or kingdom.
Some don't, and that is why they get to spend some time in Thranduil's jails. He goes, well, I will escort you to the edge of Mirkwood, and safe travels for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you interested in any hard goods? I think Thror obtained a recent stash of shovels and rope or anything like that.
Not particularly. We make do with what we have out here.
I tried, Thror.
And it may look like the trees are empty, but we are very well supplied.
Good.
Like perpetual black squirrels in the woods, hiding away items for the future.
Yeah, I would have traded to get some of their goods. Very good. Let's carry on.
What Master Dwarf are you wanting to trade for?
Oh, just I I was just joking. I was thinking you would have some food for us as we carried forward on our journey.
Why, certainly.
We've
And she
been
gives you a
waylaid a little
she'll
bit
give you a
before.
pack of lembas bread.
Excellent.
Oh, lemon spread, my favorite.
Mine too. As he mutters under his breath.
It's a wonder thing.
Did you have a message for her?
No, I guess not, right?
No,
I tell Belle.
she just was is happy to see you.
Okay, so we were
I
just
tell-
supposed to greet her and wish her well. Okay.
Right, I think it's, isn't it, that we're looking for, Lawful, or the other ranger. She's
Laura.
wintering. Laura, yeah.
Right.
Lorith was resting for
She's
the winter in Rosgobel. I'm
Yeah,
sure you will
with me.
find her once you find your companion Aegir.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that who we have the message for, or we were supposed to give a message to, her to Ruthel from the king, or no?
Nope, he didn't have a message. He basically just said she'd be happy to see you guys.
All right.
Okay.
And she is.
Okay. We are happy to see her.
But her way of expressing gratitude and happiness to seeing you is showing how good she is at her job.
Mm-hmm.
She's not gonna let the eaves of Mirkwood be unwatched.
I tell Belgo, the young boy, of the wonders of limbus bread and its delicious and nutritive properties.
May I try some?
Well, of course. This wouldn't be a complete adventuring experience if you didn't have limbus bread on your adventure. For a hero such as yourself needs to keep up his strength.
No, I'm a hero, and I need my strength.
Yeah.
I put in a soft word to his father that it's fortunate you did travel with us.
I'm beginning to see that all the time. It's too bad that our paths are going to be splitting within the next day. I wish you well.
Yes, I hope you have a safe journey as well.
So it's going to take you 5 days of travel to go 90 miles by foot over this easy terrain, which is basically like walking over one long golf course. It's beautiful. There's fruit trees on top of hills. It looks like the grass is just slightly higher than where it should be without it being manicured as a lawn. So one travel test.
Excellent. So I got a 22 with 2 tangos.
Excellent. Make sure you're marking down the successes. Don't forget that.
I got on my feet die, I got a 1, but I got 2 Tengus on my other dice, so I got a total of 13.
Okay, so you take 2 points of strain. 2 points of lose 2 points of endurance. You reach an area where hills are chalky, just south of the old forest road. Old pits scar the surface of the hills where dwarves and later men of the north dug for lime. Amongst these hills you find an image of a horse and rider cut into the side of a green hill, visible for miles around. Make a lore check.
Hopefully I got this.
16 for me.
Okay.
21 with 2 Tengus.
You both are aware of the stories here that one day it's a legend that one day the horse and the rider will come to life and ride to the aid of the free peoples. Ella Brimborn, you're familiar with the more recent kind of hushed up news that during the recent plague that happened, a cruel king had all the infected people walled up in the caves that are nearby this horse and rider hills and sealed them inside. It's rumored that ghosts roam these hills, and if they touch you, you'll get disease.
Do I know the name of the king?
You do not know the name of the king.
Oh.
That's been lost to history.
Do we know the name of the horse and rider or anything like that?
Nobody actually knows who made it. It
Okay.
might be Northmen, it might be dwarves, it might be the Leaflings. It's one of those mysteries that's been there, but you can see it for miles around. And it's there as you guys are traveling in the sight of the pale horse and rider. That I will call it for the night because I have a very early morning call at work tomorrow.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
And also, it will be a good place to catch up with Aegir.
Yep.
Very good.
So thank you everybody for watching the Company of the Whiskey Drinking Bear. And I think this is a good way to show the pros and cons of having a smaller group in it. Again, it affects in combat, as we saw, the having a firing, being able to do ranged combat, but it also gives both the players a lot more chance to do role playing and really get in with play with the NPCs. How did you guys feel about it?
Good. No, I realize that it's better to have certainly a bigger group. So we encourage anyone that would want to play with us. We'd be happy to have people along, and then I can shoot my bow more frequently. But it is good because we do get more individual time. But when it comes to things like battle and certain tests, it can be quite difficult. And Garrett's a pretty generous lore master, and not killing us off here immediately. So, but it's good to have fewer characters as far as attention. But I think more people certainly is better and completes the thing and adds more complexity into the whole.
Definitely.
The whole thing regarding having different characters, more of a group type of thing working together. So.
And next time I'll let you know how it goes for an 8-hour group with 6 different players to see how a bigger group handles it.
Yeah,
Right.
great.
Right.
Cool. Well, everybody have a wonderful night.